TRO, yeah. Team timeout.
Did you get down to see the CWD teams?
No.
No?
That was you. Yeah, that's cool.
Got these guys in the final. They jumped us. If I'm not mistaken, I reckon they're ready to go.
Ready to go.
So we're not too far from the start, ladies and gentlemen. Just a little over 3 minutes before we get this one underway between Dunedin and Richter City. Of course, Richter City most recently got to the final against Kingston City Rollers out of Melbourne, Australia at the QBR tournament. And very tough competitors. And they're going to take on Dunedin. I have to say I don't know a hell of a lot about Dunedin, so I'm super excited to see what they bring to the track.
Beautiful place.
Apparently so. I haven't been to Dunedin.
In the deep south.
Must get there. Of course, the roller derby game can't be done without refs and NSOs, and we've got a pretty decent crew on both sides of the ledger for this particular game. Obviously, with the refs, we'll start off with Aristotle, Mass, Sugar Hit, Invader Sin, Genitalia, and No Skates. They're our ref crews this morning, and personally, I think No Skates is he's my favourite because he's on inlines, and being an inline hockey player, he knows that because he refed at QBR, so he'll remember me. Always pumping him up.
Have you heard about what he's doing today with the big shave?
No, he's doing the big shave.
He is. He's
good on him, man.
fundraising to
nice
to lose the locks.
Nice.
Is that today or tomorrow?
Tomorrow. Big day tomorrow.
Bloody awesome cause there. Yeah, I've seen some coin drop thingies around. What do you call those things that you put money in?
A coin bucket. Donation bucket.
Yeah, nice. And we've got the NSOs as well, don't we?
We do indeed. You're on that page still. I skipped ahead. I thought I'd leave that one to you.
Wheels. We've got Donna Kebab. That's cool. Spear Guy. Spins in there. Thank you.
Overall, we've got a full second. We might go through the team. We're starting Dunedin and Dunedin.
Lady the Dead. We've got Maxi Rose, Furious Glitch, Blue Yellow Jacket, Fox Z, Ruby Smash, Anna Blackman, Oliver Snake, Sister Strictly, Will Smith, Mayday Train, and the Chicken. With their benches Sinner and Rosie Posey.
We'll get to the Richter lineup in just a few moments, and it looks like Scandi Lass for Richter City is going to start off on the GMAC sponsored Jammer start line this weekend. And she looks like she's going to take on number 7-9, Axel Rose. Just about set. And underway. And beautiful move there by Scandi Lass, just pushing to the inside, gets out through and gets out first, and she picks up lead jammer, Richter City.
Axel Rose is through, following behind. Oh. And that's the first jam done. Just like that.
Just like that. Bit of a smart play there by Scandy Lash. Got through, got a little bit caught up. Once she took that hit, she obviously knew that there wasn't more to be done, so picks up 3 points.
Up there on the Fundies pivot line.
And they've totally stitched you.
Slayer and McChicken jamming for this one.
Nice little hit out there, just dragging the Richter jammer back.
And it looks like McChicken's out there for lead. And Slayer's on through.
Unfortunately though for Slayer, she's going to...
Off to the garage.
She's
project.
making her way off there for the first time this game.
Yes.
For the first time this game, she's off in 2. And as soon as I find it, it's the Garage Project penalty box. Chicken just finding it a little bit hard early stage of this second jam, pushing really hard there on the Richter wall into turn 1.
Yep, getting a bit of help from her blocker there.
Just has 2 more to get through and does get through. And she picks up the Grand Slam, 5 points for Dunedin, calls it off. Smart move there by Chicken. She knew going into turn 1 and 2, being held up as much as she was, that she wasn't obviously getting through probably as quick and as easy as what she thought she was going to get through. So smart play just to get through, you get your points.
Yep.
And you call it off.
We've got Janie Dodgem and Little Yellow Jacket.
As both jammers take off on the GMAX sponsored jammer start line. That's Lee Jam at Dunedin.
And Little Yellow Jacket calling it off there.
So next up on the GMAC jammer start line, we have Scandy Lass for Richter City up against...
And Axel Rose
Axel
for
Rose.
Dunedin. And she's through.
Quick footwork there and working on the outside is Axel Rose. She picks up lead jammer for Dunedin. Unfortunately though, we do have an injury, so if we can have the medics on call, please.
Which one? There'll be some raffle tickets around somewhere. Still in this Te Aro official timeout.
So it should be too much longer before we can get this one underway. With huge thanks to, I believe this weekend, it's Wellington Free Ambulance that are here looking after all our skaters, making sure that everyone is skating safe. And Scandy Lass pretty much got off on her own, under her own steam. So she'll now sit out for 3 jams. Obviously, because of her injury, she's had to call the jam.
Yep.
So up on the GMAX jammer start line, we have 79, that's Axel Rose up against Princess Slayer from Richter City. Jam timer drops the arm, this one's underway.
Dunedin right through there, taking the lead.
Quick footwork from the inside to the outside to the inside of the track, picks up the lead jammer for Axel Rose and her Dunedin team. And Princess Slayer's not to be outdone, she's hunting her down, she's not letting her get away as the pack really starts to pick up a little bit of speed now, heading into turn 2, down on the back straight away.
Calling it off.
Axel saw that her opposing jammer was way too close and thought, I'm done. I've had enough of this. I'm going to call it off.
Right, we have Too High and McChicken on the GMAC Motors, $150 jam line.
Everything's sponsored this weekend. How cool is that?
GMAC.
Jam Timer drops the arm, gets this one underway. Both jammers fighting really hard. But it is Lee Jammer Dunedin.
McChicken through there.
And it looks like there's a Dunedin player making her way to the penalty box. That is also sponsored this weekend. That's the Garage Project penalty box. Meanwhile, back on track, it's Too High for Richter City, just skating on through. And she picks up 4 points for Richter City. Meanwhile, all the action's back now on the main straightaway with the Dunedin jammer getting through.
And it's over.
Getting some points, calling it off. She picked up 4 valuable points there for Dunedin. And with that, they take the lead early stage in this first half. They're sitting on 10 with Richter City on 7.
Up there on the Thundies pivot line.
Thundies pivot line. That is gold.
Yeah, got Janie Dodgem and Little Yellow Jacket.
Jam's underway. Quick to the inside of the track there for Richter City. They pick up lead jammer.
Dodge takes it.
Unfortunately, though, Richter do lose a blocker to the Garage Project penalty box. So she'll sit for 30 seconds. Meanwhile, all the action is back on the main straightaway into turn 1. Both jammers finding it a little hard to get through the pack.
Yep.
Multiplayer block there called on the Richter blocker there, so she'll sit in the Garage Project penalty box.
And another one.
As will the pivot.
Dunedin out again, and
it's going to end up a power jam now, because unfortunately for Richter City, Dodgem, she's going to make her way to the penalty box, so she'll sit.
Some nice loud ref calls there. Always good to hear it on the track.
Wow.
And she's through.
Fair to say, the Garage Project penalty box is seeing an absolute heckload of action in this particular jam.
Bailey's Comet back in there.
Meanwhile, back on turn 2, Little Yellow Jacket for Dunedin. Just momentarily held up by the triangle work. Pretty solid too.
It's a nice D there.
City.
Yep. Dodge. Also being held up there by the Dunedin.
Yeah, both blockers on that occasion really doing it, making it really hard for the jammers to get through. And
yeah, that was a good one.
Little Yellow Jacket skating by with the mouth sort of dropped and the tongue hanging out, saying that was really hard work, taking a well-earned rest. Next up on the GMAC Jammer start line, we have Axel Rose.
And we have a Tiki Wine team timeout.
Yeah.
So did you hear Garage Project won an award for their Brewery of the Year just recently?
I was going to say pick the tourist because I don't know who Garage Project are, but if they won something to do with alcohol, mainly beer, then I tip my hat to them. I'll have to try it.
Beer.
I'll have to try it.
They are in Wellington, in Arrow.
Ah, cool. Okay, that was loud.
Looks like we're nearing the end of the Tiki Wine team timeout. And up on the Thundies pivot line.
Yes. With Princess Slayer and Axel Rose on the GMAC Jammer start line.
Getting a bit of a run up there. Bit of a scuffle between the jammers there.
A little bit of jammer on jammer action to get things underway, but it's lead jammer Richter City. She gets out front first.
Nicely done. And they're both through, and Axel Rose. Just missed out on squeezing some points in there, Dunedin.
Yeah. Still nothing in it, really. 13-29 in favour of Dunedin. It's good to see Scandi Les back on track.
Yep.
And she's up against
McChicken.
Jam time, it drops the arm, gets this one underway out front in the front of the pack. It is Scandi Les
Holding
for Richter City. Gets through, picks up lead jammer Richter.
Oh.
Nice bit of defensive work there by Richter City, just pushing McChicken off the outside part of the track there. But whilst all that was happening, Scandi Les goes through and she picked up the 5 points. So grand slam.
While Scandal goes round and racks up those points.
Yep.
And McChicken's through. I think that was their initial, eh?
It is her national on her scoring, and Scandi Les all over that. She knew exactly what was going on, saw what was happening, and thought, you're not getting any more points today.
Yep.
Called it off. It's not a bad little jam. Picking up 8 points, closes the gap.
Yeah, it is too.
21 to Richter City and 29 for Dunedin as we just tick under the 19-minute mark. Or should I say 19 minutes remaining in this first half.
We have Too High and Little Yellow Jacket jamming. It's fairly even right now. Finding a gap, and it's the race for lead. Who got lead there? Looks like it went to Dunedin. There's a bit of scuffling going on in the pack there as Dunedin come round for the first pass.
Got a bit of momentum in this pack. They've decided that we're going to go for a bit of a skate and make it a little bit tricky for Too High to get through and pick up points.
That was an interesting one.
And it worked because they picked up 3. Unfortunately for Richter, they didn't score any points on that particular jam. So it looks like we have Princess Slayer for Richter City and Axel Rose for Dunedin on the GMAC. On the GMAC Jammer start lines, Jam timer gets this one underway. Both jammers pushing hard, but it is Axel Rose, lead jammer Dunedin.
There's some pace getting through that pack there. And Scandal's through too. Slayer. Slayer's through.
Unfortunately, though, one of the Dunedin blockers picked up a penalty there towards the end of that previous jam, so she'll sit in the Garage Project penalty box for 30 seconds as we get this one underway. And it is McChicken up against Dodgem for Richter City, and it's Dodgem out front who picks up lead jammer.
McChicken getting cycled right back there.
Unfortunately for McChicken, she got hit out and recycled, so she had to go all the way back, pretty much back into turn 1, but now she's through.
Yep, some good footwork there. It's all over Red Rover.
All over Red Rover. My favourite saying when both teams, neither team, oh no, correction, I was nearly going to call donuts on that jam, but Richter did pick up 3 points. As we see Axel Rose taking on Scandi Lass on the Jammer start line. It's going to be a 4-3 blocker advantage. Oh no, it's not. It's going to be a 3-on-3 blockers. As we start this jam, because there's 2 blockers in the bin from the previous jam. Meanwhile, all the action's into turn 1, and that is Axel Rose getting through for Dunedin lead jammer.
Both jammers through. And just like that.
And I think, yes, unfortunately, Scandi Lass for Richter has picked up I think it was a low block.
Ah, I see.
So she's going to start the next jam in the jammer penalty box. That's the Garage Project penalty box as we get this one underway. No, we don't.
Oh.
And it's an official timeout. Brought to us by Tiaru. They're a massage place, right?
Yes.
Or physiotherapy.
They're a sponsor of Richter City, obviously.
Well, apparently they're on board with Richter City as a proud sponsor.
Yep. Preventing injuries and aiding fast recovery. They must have restarted that. Did they restart it?
Both teams were more than happy to sit up on their Thundies pivot line to get this one underway. It's Axel Rose.
Oh, sneaks up the inside there. That was well done.
Well, she's got lead jam, but she's on a power jam to start with. Unfortunately for Richter City, Scandi Lass sitting a penalty from the previous jam. It looks like Snatcher, she's making her way now to the Garage Project penalty box. Meanwhile, all the action's back now into the main straightaway as Axel Rose comes through to get some more points. Met solidly there by the Richter defence, just working it laterally across the track.
Meanwhile, Scandal is back on the track and
was well aware of where Scandi Lass was and called it off.
Yep.
And in the process, picking up 9 points in that previous jam. That pushes them out to 47 with Richter on 25. With just a tick over 14 minutes remaining in this first half. And it's like little yellow jacket for Dunedin jamming. And Princess Slayer for Richter City. And she's gotten through first, so she's picked up lead jammer for Richter City.
Nicely done.
And she's picked up a Grand Slam, 5 points heading the way of the Richter City girls.
And we've got a pass there by the looks of things. And Slayer calls it off. Four points there.
Looks like 5-1-1 for Dunedin Rinks Minks. I think she was called on an elbows call, so she's going to start the next jam in the penalty box. That's the Garage Project sponsored penalty box with so it was too high for Richter City up against
a bit of hustle there, and looks like a bit of lost. A bit of a wardrobe malfunction there.
Yeah. Unfortunately, though, for Richter City, too high.
Nice
got called on the penalty, so she's now sitting in the Garage Project penalty box. Meanwhile, out front, it is McChicken for Dunedin. Doing all the things, picking up all the points as she comes around again for another scoring pass. And she gets through the pack quite easily on that particular pass, and a Grand Slam 5-point haul going the way of Dunedin.
Too high through.
Slowly but surely, the Richter crew get their skaters back on track. But unfortunately, for Dunedin, it will be a 4-3 blocker advantage going the way of the Richter girls going to this next jam.
Quite a big chunk there.
And a good points haul in the previous jam there by McChicken picking up 14 points. As we see Axel Rose and Scandi Lass on the GMAC Jammer start line. Jam Timer drops the hand, gets this one underway. Both jammers pushing hard. Scandi Lasso seems to have the ascendancy out front as she does and gets through, picks up lead jammer Richter.
Yep. Vicky's taking Axel Rose back. And she sneaks on through there. Woo! Just about, almost did that. And again. Is that what it looks like?
I think Axel Rose, I think she may have picked up a track cut. So she's going to sit for 30 seconds. Meanwhile,
this is their chance to get those points back.
Yeah, definitely. I mean, Scandi Lass now has the track to herself. She's got the blockers there to do the job. Unfortunately, it is 4-3 against her. Working hard. Suffragette for Richter City. She's going to sit in the Garage Project jammer box on a back block call rather. Meanwhile, Axel Rose makes her way back on track. Met solidly though by the Richter defense and into turn one. It gets through.
Yeah.
That's her initial done and dusted. She makes her way around now for a scoring pass. And Scandi Lass was more than aware of that and calls a jam.
Smart move there. Calling that off there.
Unfortunately for Axel Rose in that particular jam, not picking up any points. But there you go. It takes one jam, 18 points, and Richter City have closed the gap yet again.
Yeah.
And we're on a team timeout.
Is it a Tiki Wine team timeout?
It is. And I think it's to the white team, to the ladies from Dunedin.
So get yourself along to that tuck shop. There's some food outside. We've got Anahito's taco truck. Let's talk about it.
Food. I just heard food.
Karma Cola from All Good Organics.
Wow.
Head on over to the GP bar and grab yourself a Karma Cola, Lemmy or Gingerella today.
I thought GMAC was a finance company because it certainly is back home, but it's not. It's Gordon McIntosh, and he's been running his own business for around 30 years, whether it's a Warren Fitness, oil change, service of vehicle parts. It's a one-stop shop. It's located on Parliament Street near Station Village and Western Hut train station for easy access into town after dropping the car off. Friendly experience and reliable service every time. Go and see him.
Right here in the Hutt Valley.
Yep, that too.
So we have Little Yellow Jacket and Princess Slayer on the jam line there. The GMAC jam line.
It is.
Bit of hustle there.
Yep.
And Little Yellow Jacket in the lead there for Dunedin, lead jammer.
And it looks, unfortunately for Richter City, Princess Leia has picked up a track cut call, so she's going to sit for 30 seconds in the Garage Project penalty box. Meanwhile, out front for Dunedin, it is Little Yellow Jacket. She's now on a power jam, so she'll be looking to consolidate and pick up as many points as she can.
Richter doing their mightiest to hold her, and nice wee hip check there from Snatch, but it wasn't enough, and she's through.
Good-o is good-o, and if it's done properly, it can be huge. As we turn our attention back into turns 3 and 4, that's where all the action's at. Little Yellow Jacket just met momentarily by the Richter defence. They're working very, very hard to hold her up.
Yeah.
While all that was happening, Princess Slayer has been released from the penalty box. She now finds herself back on track. There's been another truck, and unfortunately for Slayer, she's picked up yet another cut track call, so she'll sit in the Garage Project penalty box for a further 30 seconds.
Richter cycling Little Yellow Jacket back there. That gap of points is like a yo-yo, isn't it?
I like yo-yos. Yo-yos were fun when I was growing up.
Nail-biting yo-yos. What is she talking about?
I don't know. On the jammer start line, it's McChicken all by herself. She'll start this one under the power jam as the jammer timer throws the hand down, and that gets this one underway. So the Richter defence doing nice work in between turn 1 and 2, just holding McChicken up, knocking her out to the outside and recycling her back.
Way back.
As the cavalry, as it were, arrive for Richter City to strengthen up their defence, and while all that's happening, Princess Slayer's made her way back on track. All the cavalry arrive now. The penalty box is empty. We've got 4 on 4. We've got 2 jammers. It's all happening.
Oh, they're speeding it up a little bit there. Bit of hustle. As she calls it off there. Three points there for Dunedin. This time we've got Janie Dodgem and Axel Rose. Some quick feet there, and Dunedin take the lead jam.
Yeah, some very fancy footwork there by Axel Rose to the outside part of the track. Got her lead jammer for Dunedin. She's now on her scoring pass.
Oh, nice footwork there.
Yeah, little juke here, little juke there. She gets through. Grand Slam 5-point haul going the way of Dunedin. Meanwhile, back in turn 2.
Ooh.
Nice bit of defensive work there by Dunedin, just knocking Dodgem out to the outside part of the track. She's going to get recycled all the way back to turn 1 and made to start all over again.
Almost half a lap there.
Nothing more deflating for a jammer to have that done. It's a sport, and that's what we do. Meanwhile, out front, it is Axel Rose picking up another 4-point haul for the girls from Dunedin.
For the pass over there to Nerdy.
Meanwhile, down in turns 3 and 4, there was a hive of activity with blockers going on.
And she picked up some points there. 2 points to Richter there. And a 12 to Dunedin.
Team timeout going the way of Dunedin. That is the Tiki Wine team timeout. Thanks to Tiki Wine for sponsoring the team timeouts this weekend.
They are an Indigenous New Zealand Māori wine producer committed to sustainable wine growing.
It is. All these sponsors, but without them, this probably doesn't happen. Speaking of sponsors, Wooden Spoon are on board this weekend too, ladies and gentlemen. Founded in Wellington in 2011, Wooden Spoon Boutique Freezery makes small batch handcrafted ice cream using high quality ingredients. Our flavours are inspired by memories from our childhood adventures to new places. I'm not here that long, but who knows?
And don't forget about fundies. You can see them on some of the players today. The Richter players.
Yeah, some of the Richter girls have got them on, which is good.
Made in New Zealand.
Okay, cool.
Just enough stretch to stay up and stay on.
Because it's all about the stretch.
You'll never be caught with a wedgie wearing thunderpants.
Okay.
That's what it says.
So hopefully not too far away from a start, or a resumption, I should say, ladies and gentlemen. The refs just having a bit of a chat about what it is that was brought to their attention by the white team, hence the timeout. Roller derby, ladies and gentlemen, cannot happen without our volunteers. We've got scorekeepers, we've got referees, we've got non-skating officials. So we thank them for giving up their time this weekend. We've even got lunatics like me who travel over from Australia to come over here. I don't know. I don't know. But I'm enjoying it. All jokes aside. So head ref Aristotle just giving his final words to the two teams. They split as we have Scandi Lass and Little Yellow Jacket, looks like, on the GMAC Jammer start line. And it looks like we've got a full complement of blockers for both teams as well.
Yeah.
Jam Timer throws a hand down. Here we go. Scandi Lass pushing very hard. As is Little Yellow Jacket. All the action is a big clump of skaters as we head into turn 2.
And she's through.
But she's through, picking up lead jam at Richter City. That's Scandi Lass.
That was superb. Yeah.
It looks like we've had a star pass for Dunedin, a successful one at that.
Scandals on.
I can't quite make out who that skater is, the recipient skater, but meanwhile, for Richter City at least, Scandi Lass is...
Fox Z.
Fox Z. There you go. Unfortunately for Fox Z, though, she's met very, very solidly by the Jammer defence into turn 1. With some bridging work there, the pack's quite spread from turn 2 right through to the back straightaway, which is where we find Scandi Lass, but she pushes through, picks up a 5-point hole.
That's great. Round around.
AKA a Grand Slam. That's what all the Jammers want. Looks like a destruction of pack call there on the Richter blocker. And that's Suffragette, so she's going to make her way to the Garage Project penalty box.
Fox Z through, and just as it gets called off.
Scandi Lass picked up 4 points, called that off.
It was a nice one there. Richter getting some of those points back.
Very handy 4-point jam.
As we have McChicken for
22
Dunedin.
points, nothing in it.
Yep. And Princess Slayer for Richter.
Jam Timer throws a hand down, gets this one underway. Both Jammers pushing very hard, met solidly.
And she's through.
Yeah, by some good defensive work, but out front it is McChicken picking up lead jammer for Dunedin.
Just like that. Slayer through, picking up some more points there. As McChicken.
Nice hit by Suffragette as she made her way straight back on from serving her penalty.
As they start there on the Thundees pivot line.
And all by her lonesome on the GMAC Jammer start line. We see Axel Rose for Dunedin. She gets out. She's lead jammer. She's also on the power jam too, I believe. Yes, she is. Slayer had to start that one in the penalty box.
Both.
Ah, well, there you go. So both jammers picking up penalties now. So this one's going to go for the full 2 minutes as Princess Slayer makes her way back on track. Working really hard to get through down here on turns 3 and 4. And does so. So that's the initial done. So now she can come through on her scoring pass and hopefully pick up some valuable points while her opposing jammer is still in the penalty box.
One of the Dunedin players there.
And skating out of bounds penalty called there. Can't quite make out who that is for the Dunedin skater, but she will sit in the Garage Project penalty box. And failure to reform call there.
Oh.
For Dunedin.
There's a nice recovery there from Dunedin jammer.
So Axel Rose just getting through and picking up 4 points on that previous pass. Pack just starting to get a little bit of momentum and hopefully going to try and make it a little bit more difficult in doing so for Axel Rose to get through.
Richter just bouncing that jammer around between them.
Yep.
As Slayer just sneaks on through there.
And that's time out. No, it's not. It's intermission. Spoon.
Wooden spoon.
And it's, I believe it's the girls from Richter. Yeah, it's Richter City calling this official review. So those that need to will have a bit of a chat. They'll throw it to the refs. The refs will have a bit of a discussion.
If you want to get some merch, you can head on over to Court 3 near Track 1, just down the hallway there. Exclusive merch.
We all love an exclusive.
Pens and mugs as well. It's called the Vendor Village over there on Court 3.
Vendor Village. Nice.
We've got food and jewellery and clothing.
All the things. So whilst we're under this official review, nice little 11-point haul there from Dunedin that cracks the ton. So they're sitting on 108 with Richter City on 88.
Must be near half time, are we?
And pending the outcome of this, will probably send us into half time. Just waiting for the head ref there, Aristotle, to make his judgment based on whatever it is that Richter have seen that they want clarification on.
Don't forget there's rubbish bins around the place, so be a tidy Kiwi.
Please,
or
please bin it.
Tidy Australian.
Please bin it. Yeah, no, we're pretty tidy.
Especially if you've had some food from the tuck shops. We've got Karma Cola, Wooden Spoon ice cream, and Wendy's donuts.
Yum. Car therapy. Wow. Okay, it's a thing. So car therapy are on number 2 Gilmore Terrace in the CBD and can help you out with your mechanical needs. I like that because I'm a mechanic. So book your car in, get your repairs that you've been putting off, and see the guys down there, car therapy, and tell them Richter City sent you.
It's actually my husband's business, that one.
Really?
It is.
There you go.
Car Therapy Centre.
There you go.
So we have 2 mechanics around here. We've got GMAC Motor Services in the Hut and Car Therapy in Wellington. Proud sponsors of the Quake Battle and Roll.
Cool. And a 22-year veteran of Toyota. What can I say?
Nice.
I've got to get a life.
You know cars.
I know cars. I know Toyota. So we're still under this official review.
Reviewing all things official. This is a
lengthy official review.
It is. If you can't get enough of real life derby, you can find it on Facebook as well. Search Richter City and post some pictures on there too.
Cool.
We're also on Instagram at Richter City Roller Derby.
Oh, cool.
And on Twitter.
Hashtag
tweet. RCRD, hashtag QBR 2017.
Everything's a hashtag.
You got to do that when you're doing
the hashtag, right?
Which is hard when you're holding the microphone.
So, all things Twitter. I mean, you just mentioned Twitter, and I've actually got a chicken at home.
I have 3.
We've got well, my housemate and I, we've got about 6.
Oh no!
And my chicken is really cool because it's black. And when she stands in the sun, you can sort of see a green in her feathers. She's just awesome.
Is that an Orpington?
I don't know. She's a chicken.
Throwing chicken names.
She clucks and she lays pretty darn good eggs.
Yeah, eggs are good.
And I named her Twitter.
Ah, see.
Because I thought I'd be original like that. See what I did there, right?
Yeah, nice.
I feel sorry for the jam timer because I've done jam timing before, and this is probably going to be hurting her arms right about now as we're 5 minutes into this official review. That'll be review.
Yep.
She's got a nice hand motion, official review to the bench.
Yeah, she's
Official
definitely done that
review
before. Yep.
To the bench. Good. It's good to see.
Seasoned professionals here.
Seasoned campaigner for sure.
As both teams will be taking advantage of a little break there. Bit of strategy.
Most definitely.
I don't know where these raffle tickets are, but there's some raffles being sold.
Yeah, apparently. No one's come up to us, so...
No. I don't have any coins, so that's probably a good thing.
There are a few raffles on today, apparently, with the main one to be drawn just before the final, and that would be obviously tomorrow.
Yep.
Sorry we can't give you any more details on that, folks, but as soon as we do, we shall.
Yeah. We should probably talk a little bit about osteopaths while we're waiting. Oh, and there you go, just as we start. That timeout is over.
Now we are officially at intermission.
Aha.
Good opportunity, guys, to grab something to eat, grab something on skates, you must have your helmet and mouthguard and all your protective gear on, and you are upright. You must have all your protective gear on at all times. Thank you. One thing I didn't get to do in the first half was introduce the Richter team, so I probably should just do that maybe soon-ish.
Yes.
Some of the Richter girls are on track, huddled up, having a bit of a chat. The rest are just more than happy just to be sitting on the bench. So skating for Richter this afternoon, or this morning I should say, is Bailey's Comet, Bubble Kill, Sure Trouble, Chemical Warfare, Alakazam, Janie Dodgem, Margaret Snatcher, Nerdinator, Princess Slayer, Scandi Lass, Suffragette, Tino Turner, Too High, Tough Bickies, and with Growl and Veg doing the benching honours. So just a little over 30 seconds to go, and we can get the second half underway between Richter City and Dunedin. Pretty exciting, pretty eventful first half of Derby. I would expect pretty much the same. So it looks like the Dunedin girls want to push things forward a little bit and start off on the Thundies pivot line. It looks like it's going to be Princess Slayer on the GMAC Jammer start line for Richter City. She's going to get things underway for them. Jam time, it drops the hammer down and we get this one underway. It's a power jam start for Princess Slayer. She meets a tough old wall there and to turn 2, heading down the back straightaway, gets through, picks up lead jammer.
So was that a penalty from the last?
Yes, it was a penalty from the last, from the previous jam. I don't know what the penalty was.
He's speeding it up and Slayer's straight through there. As they go in for some O.
Just trying to work her way laterally there was Slayer, but manages to force the issue on the inside part of the track and get through. And she's picked up 4 more valuable points for Richter.
Nice work there by Slayer. 14 points and none there for Dunedin.
And we've seen it again. We are under an official timeout.
Lolly time.
Tiaro official timeout. That's a good jam by Slayer, picking up 14 valuable points for Richter City, pushing them over the 1 tonne mark. They're sitting on 102.
Yeah, that was great.
With Dunedin on 108. Second time this game we've seen a hefty sort of points haul chopped right down. And we're seeing Nerdinator for the first time jamming today. We are.
We are indeed. I
was wondering when we were going to see her jam. I was like, I know she jams. She can jam. And she's jamming, and she's smiling, and jamming. She does all the things.
Must have been that pep talk by that orange bench.
Yes. It was by you. We know that.
Ready to go.
So we have 404 Nerdinator up on the GMAC Jammer start line. She's going to take on McChicken from Dunedin. Jam Timer gets this one going. Both jammers working to the inside part of the track. Unfortunately for McChicken, she got knocked out and been recycled.
And Nerdy's through there, taking the lead. There's McChicken.
Nice bit of footwork there by Nerdinator, which got her lead jammer for Richter.
And some good strides there from McChicken. Some clever calling there from Richter.
Only picking up the 4 points in that particular jam there by Dunedin, but that's okay because it brings them a little closer. I'm sure she'd be pretty happy with that. As we see Too High taking on Axel Rose on the GMAC Jammer start line. And it is Axel Rose out front. She picks up lead jammer for Dunedin.
Some nice work there by Too High getting through. Oh, that was some sweet toe stops.
Yep.
From Axel Rose there. And some good teamwork there to...
Yeah, it had to because the Pat picked up a little bit of speed, so you've got to be able to compensate for that and to slow down, get in front and try and force the issue and try and slow that back down.
Yeah.
It does take teamwork more often than not, as we see some good defensive work by Richter there on Axel Rose, just pushing her to the outside of the track.
And a strong wall there for Axel to get through.
And it looks like a low block's been called on Too High, so she'll make her way to the Garage Project penalty box. She'll sit for 30 seconds.
As well as Bicky's.
Nice little Grand Slam 5-point haul there for Dunedin. Moves them along to 117 with Richter City on 113. 4 points, nothing in it.
That score is close.
This is what you want. As both blockers are more than happy to sit up on the Thunderbirds pivot line. With McChicken all by herself.
This is going to be key, this one. And she's through.
Picking up lead jammer. Good defensive work there by Richter, trying to hold her up in between turn 1 and 2. Unfortunately, just the weight of numbers against them on that particular occasion. But McChicken's got a head of steam up now. She's going flat out. So very hard to stop when the jammer gets that much momentum. Unfortunately for Richter City and Too High, she's picked up a back block call, so she'll sit 30 seconds in the Garage Project penalty box. Meanwhile, back on track, McChicken for Dunedin just carving her way through and picking up all the points.
Jukes.
And that's another Grand Slam 5-point haul going the way of McChicken.
Some quick thinking there.
And unfortunately for McChicken, she looks like she's picked up a forearm score, so she's going to make her way to the Garage Project penalty box.
No, it's Too High's turn.
Yep, but releases Too High. She's back on track now. So she gets through. She's not lead jammer, but this jam will go for the full 2 minutes.
And Richter get another.
So hopefully for Too High, she can utilise this last 20 or so seconds and get some valuable points for Richter. So it's a 4-3 blocker advantage going the way of Richter. That should be able to really use this to their advantage.
Oh, nicely done there by Too High. Just steps on through. That was well done. Keeping that score pretty close still.
And it looks like we're under another. Yes, we are indeed. We're under another official timeout. Tiaro official timeout, who are sponsoring all the timeouts this weekend of the official variety. Official. Yep, got that. Thank you.
While they're doing that, we've actually got another game on November the 4th. It's a double header at Kilburnie.
Cool.
It's the Comic Slams versus Smash Malice, so they're home teams for Richter City.
Okay.
And the Convicts, Richter Convicts, which is one of their travel teams, are playing Nelson's Sirens of Smash.
Cool. I like it.
Double the derby.
All the derby.
All the
All
derby.
of the derby.
Looks like they're... No? So while we're waiting, we'll just do a bit of a shout out to the NSOs today. Very important part of roller derby.
Absolutely.
You can find them in penalty box as timekeepers in the middle of the track. As you
Jam
can see,
timers, scoreboard trackers, score trackers rather, wranglers, penalty box, you name it.
if you feel like you may want to get down on the NSO list, you can email officials.richtercity@gmail.com.
Why not?
Get in there.
Why not? So we're still under this official timeout, which
The
hopefully...
teapot down.
Teapot dance, exactly. Probably worth pointing out too, this event is an alcohol-free, as per the arrangement here with the Walter Nash Centre. So as much as we would like to have a drink, you can't be doing it inside here. As we get ourselves set.
Janie Dodgem and Axel Rose. Oh, there was some sneaky moves up the outside there for Axel Rose, taking the lead for Dunedin.
Yeah, very quick there by Axel Rose, picking up lead. Jammer wasted no time at all getting through.
And again.
And does the same thing again. Just works out outside part of the track so well and so quick.
Richter's ready for her this time.
Nice little bit of defensive work there by Richter City, but...
And off it is, called off, just like that.
Nice little 10-point haul there.
Just
pushes the score for Dunedin up to 144 with Richter City on 123. With just a tick over 21 minutes remaining in this game, as we see McChicken up against Princess Slayer. And it is Princess Slayer lead. Jammer Richter City gets out front.
some good hustle there between Zam and McChicken, but McChicken is through. And Slayer calls it off. 4 points there.
Yeah, picks up 4. But not to be outdone too much. McChicken picked up 2 points as well, so... So for Richter City, it's 404. That's Nerdinator.
And that's a little yellow jacket there.
Little yellow jacket.
Dunedin. Some quick steps there from Nerdy. As little yellow jacket takes the push and drive approach to the pack there.
But out front and picking up lead jammer for Richter City is Nerdinator, so she's now on her scoring path. She comes out, met solidly by the Dunedin blockers there. Really giving it a hard time.
Yeah.
And she tries to fight her way through into turns 1 and 2.
Nerdy getting a bit of help there from her teammates.
Bunched up pack coming out of turn 2 now.
And she's through. With a pass, yep.
Yep. And picked up a Grand Slam 5-point haul for Richter City. Nice jam, well done.
Nice.
Picked up 5 points.
It is close on that scoreboard. So we got Dodge and Axel Rose.
And both jammers working very hard. Janie just trying to go the
tough wall to get through.
Yeah, it's just trying to work the blockers defensively laterally there, and it worked because she's gotten through. She's picked up lead jammer for Richter City.
Yep. Just as Dunedin get through there. Oh, nice wee pick up there for Dodge.
Yeah, good call by Janie. I mean, it's 4 points, little by little, bit by bit, and that's fine. So she knew what she was seeing in terms of the opposing jammer making a huge gain, and as we all know, that's pretty much the play.
Yep.
As we see Princess Slayer on the GMAX jammer line. She's up against Mick Chicken.
Oh, it's some...
Both jammers met very hard, but out front and picking up lead jammer for Richter City, it is Princess Slayer.
Chasing her down. Getting some of those speed skating moves in there.
Unfortunately for Princess Slayer, she's picked up a back block, so she's going to unfortunately make her way off to the Garage Project penalty box. Meanwhile, the action is back onto turn 3 as McChicken fighting her way through the Richter defense and does so, picking up a Grand Slam 5-point haul.
Oh, she's through.
And again, just works that outside part of the track so well. Another 5-point Grand Slam haul for McChicken. And as quick as I've said that, she's back around in front of me again very, very quickly. She gets around the track, but momentarily been just caught up on the main straightaway as the Richter defense go to work in trying to hold her up. Meanwhile, whilst all that was happening, Princess Slayer made her way back on track. She's picked up 4 valuable points for Richter City.
Is there no lead on this one?
And McChicken picking up another 5-point Grand Slam haul for Dunedin.
Going for a full 2, is it?
Proving to be a very, very tidy jam for the girls in white. As McChicken goes around again, picking up another 5-point haul. Unfortunately for Princess Slayer, she's picked up a skating out of bounds, and so she's going to sit in the Garage Project penalty box, and she'll serve 30 seconds.
Yeah.
That one's done and dusted. 26-point haul. Fine effort there by McChicken. Pushing the Dunedin girls to 171 with Richter City on 147. With just a little on 15 minutes remaining in this game. Both teams happy to start on the Thundies pivot line.
We got a penalty board anywhere?
As all on her lonesome is Little Yellow Jacket. She's going to start this one on a power jam.
Big hustle there. And she's through.
Just found a little bit of a gap on the inside part of the track and opened that up and used that to her advantage, and that's what made her get through as quick as what she did. Unfortunately for Lady McDash, she's been...
And that's 2-3 of Dunedin's blockers in the bin there.
Meanwhile, all the goings on is, or was in between turns 3 and 4, but that jam was called.
That is an official timeout there, Tiara timeout.
A Tiara official timeout.
Just under 15 minutes left of this game. Oh.
Yep. Nearly 14 minutes. That's okay. So it takes the Rose up against Too High. With a 4-1 blocker advantage going away.
I did not expect that.
Axel Rose gets through, picks up lead jammer. Unfortunately, Too High has been sent to the penalty box, the Garage Project penalty box that is, so she'll sit for 30 seconds. Meanwhile, out front,
Snatch.
Axel Rose getting through, picking up a Grand Slam 5-point haul for the girls in white.
Oh, just getting that gap there. That was a small gap.
Jammers love gaps.
Yeah.
They find them, they see them, they open them up, and they go for it.
Yep.
As meanwhile, down into turns 3 and 4 is where we find all the action. And again, Axel Rose just pushed to the outside of the track. She's going to be recycled back into turn 3.
By sheer trouble.
She enters the track legally, which is always a good thing.
And she maybe... Oh, yeah.
And here she is with a smile on her face. It's 4:04 for Richter City, the Nerdinator. And she's going to be taking on McChicken on the GMAC Jammer start line. Three on three in terms of blockers, with 2 obviously sitting in the bin, 1 for each team, as Nerdinator works very, very hard trying to work those blockers laterally.
Nerdy fun with the gap there. Ooh. McChicken's out. With a nice
McChicken
pass.
found the gap before Nerdinator, unfortunately,
Yep.
that one. So she gets out. She picks up lead jammer for the girls from Dunedin.
Vicky's in there with some quick feet. And it is called off.
Unfortunately for that particular jam, neither jam are picking up points. Or as I like to call it, donuts, because of zeros. They look like donuts. I don't know.
Speaking of donuts,
I know, right?
seen some of those Wendy's donuts out at the tuck shop. We have Little Yellow Jacket for Dunedin and Janie Dodgem for Richter.
It was momentarily a 4-on-2 blocker advantage going the way of Dunedin, but some of the cavalry arrived for Richter City to try and even things up. But whilst all that was happening, Little Yellow Jacket gets through, picks up lead jammer for Dunedin. And just carving her way through. And it's a Grand Slam 5-point haul.
And snatch out with a lovely pass there.
Pass is complete.
Oh, calls it off just before they can get some points.
Unfortunately, there was an illegal procedure now. Whether that was an illegal start pass, I am not sure. Just looking at the ref and the body language, it would appear that... Looks like... Was that Snatcher? It is.
Yeah.
So we're now under an official review. Or an official timeout, rather, sorry.
A tiara.
Official timeout. All these sponsors, wow.
Yeah. As opposed to a Tiki Wine team timeout.
A Tiki Wine. I could go with Tiki Wine. Are they good?
Yeah, they're really good.
Awesome. I don't mind a good... I love my red wine. And one of the best red wines that we get from New Zealand back home in Australia is Oyster Bay. Give me a bottle of Oyster Bay Shiraz.
Well, if you think that's good, you should try some of that Tiki Wine.
Okie dokie. We are now under a team timeout for purple, so Richter City have called a team timeout.
Which is the Tiki Wine team timeout, funnily enough.
Speaking of wines, they call a timeout. God bless them.
Yeah, it's a good family-owned business.
Nice.
Tiki Wines, yes.
NZCT. Okay. NZCT is New Zealand's largest gaming trust and the largest funder of amateur sports participation in New Zealand, making it possible to bring you events like QBR. So we thank them for coming on board. NZCT, as we're just about ready to get this one underway, and it is Axel Rose for Dunedin.
Everybody on the Thundies pivot line.
Again, yeah, both teams happy to start up on the Thundies pivot line.
Axel Rose. Cycled back and
nice hit out there on Axel, just pushing her to the outside of the track and then recycling her, but as she's done so many times today, she gets back up and just gets straight back into it, gets through, picks up lead jammer. Of course, the Garage Project penalty box seeing a lot of action so far in this game.
as we have another.
And Axel Rose picks up another 5-point Grand Slam points haul for Dunedin.
A nice one there from Jet. With some quick communication from the bench to Dunedin there to call it off.
Yep. Nice little 7-point haul there for Dunedin. Takes them over the double ton, sees them on 203 with Richter City on 147. And
Looks
again, we are under a Tiaro official timeout. As this one gets underway, it's McChicken up against Princess Slayer.
Oh,
Princess Slayer with some
lovely.
fancy footwork to the inside part of the track, gets through, picks up lead, Jammer, Richter City.
There was some smooth moves by
Yeah, very
Slayer.
But not to be outdone though. You know how quick McChicken can be.
Is that a donut? Looks like it.
So it looks like it's going to be a power jam start for Richter City. As we see 404, that's Nerdinator. Doing some fancy sort of dance moves there, but more importantly, doing what she does best, and that's being a pretty darn good skater, getting through. But unfortunately, she's picked up a forearms call, so.
Oh, there's gutting. So we have both.
So that'll release the white jammer. And Nerdinator won't be too far behind.
Pushed out and cycled back for a McChicken there. Up against that tough Richter wall.
Great defensive work there by Richter, really giving McChicken nothing.
Oh!
The defensive work is really good, just continually being hit to the outside. Unfortunately for Nerdinator, she makes her way back into the penalty box. I'm not sure what that call was for. But all the action now is on to turn 4 where...
And pushed out and cycled back again.
Yep, Richter City working very hard defensively on McChicken. A little bit of a juke to the inside, to the outside. McChicken gets her way through, but she's not lead jammer.
There's some great work there by McChicken to get through there.
As we see Nerdinator release from the penalty box, and she's now back on track, fighting very hard down in turn 1.
Fighting hard there to get through. And passed it over to Vicky. Oh, lovely work there from Vicky's.
Nice little skate by there from Vicky's.
As if they didn't even see her. Some much needed points there for Richter, and the same for Dunedin.
Which is a little over 6 minutes remaining in this game.
Wow, that's gone fast.
Looks like we're...
Not too high, and is that Axel Rose there for Dunedin?
Yeah, it is Axel Rose.
Oh, wow.
And just like that, quick footwork down the outside, Axel Rose gets through lead jam at Dunedin.
So some superb jamming there. That defence wall is working, but not for long. As Too High exits the pack of 1.
Yeah, she got through. Pushed really hard. So all the action's now down onto the back straight away, where we see Too High really getting worked hard by the defensive setup or the defensive structure from the Dunedin girls, but eventually she finds her way through.
Getting a bit of help there from her team and calling it off. Can't stop looking at the scoreboard.
Look, it's a thing.
So watching tennis.
True. So it looks like Princess Slayer up against Little Yellow Jacket on the GMAC Jammer start line.
Oh, almost. And Little Yellow Jacket through and catching the lead. And calling it off. Just like that.
Yep. Not entirely sure why, but there's obviously a reason for it.
And Dunedin calling
it's a team timeout. It's a Tiki Wine. A Tiki Wine team timeout.
Timeout.
That's actually a Tiki Wine team timeout.
Tiki Wine team timeout.
Exactly. Called by the white team.
Have we got a schedule? Next game?
Oh, I believe we do.
It's not on here, I don't think.
Somewhere.
Somewhere in this paperwork, there is a lot of organisation that goes into these bouts.
Of paperwork.
And it is amazing.
Well, if it's not on the paperwork, we can at least talk about it because it's pretty much universal. And that is, of course, the champs coming up in the US very, very soon.
Yes, indeed.
Most people are saying that this is the biggest window of opportunity for VRDL if they're ever going to take it out and bring the Hydra off US shores back to Australia.
Yeah.
This is going to be the year. So that remains to be seen as to what the girls in blue and white can actually do. And obviously, being a Victorian boy, I'd be pretty happy with that.
Yeah.
I think the Derby world would be.
Oh, yeah.
London came oh so close a few years back as we get this one underway. And it's Axel Rose for Dunedin getting through and picking up Lee Jammer. Yes, it is Lee Jammer. Axel Rose for Dunedin. Met very solidly there by the Richter defence, but manages to find a gap, pushes her way through on the outside and picks up 4 points. Meanwhile, back on the back straight away.
Some nice footwork there by Dodge.
Janie's, yeah. Just found it tough, just momentarily, but found a gap, got through. So just getting back onto that champs thing, it's very interesting to see Victoria last year, obviously very, very strong, very solid. They went through all the qualifying stages, undefeated. They've done it again this year. I guess the only difference between this year and last year is we've got a full fit squad. We've got Chrissy Demons back on. She's fully fit. She's ready to go.
Force to be reckoned with.
And it's Little Yellow Jacket taking on the might of Princess Leia, which is where we find her. She's out front. Princess Leia met solidly, though, into turn 1, just trying to work those guys laterally.
Some lovely steps.
Yeah, finds a nice little gap on the inside. Gets through, picks up Lee Jammer, Richter City.
And a pass there through for Dunedin. That is Furious Fletch.
Nice. Whilst all that was happening, Slayer gets through, picked up a 5-point haul.
Yep. 5 points for them. Not a lot of time left on that clock.
No. As we see Nerdinator on the GMAC Jammer start line. She'll give a twinkle of the fingers as she always quite often does. There it goes. She's up against Axel Rose.
Oh, lovely there by Nerdy.
Nice footwork, working the outside line beautifully. Is Nerdinator. She gets through, picks up Lee Jammer for Richter City.
Removing that panty. Hat.
And just like that, she gets through, picks up 4 points, wasting no time in trying to get some points on the board for Richter. Picks up 4, calls it off. The other thing too, just on the whole Victorian thing, Victorian, as you would know, and maybe some of the fans here may not know, actually very well represented by some Kiwi girls. We've got Yana Naku, who's also a Kiwi girl. We've got Ivy Kanivi, who's a Kiwi girl. We've got Lady Trample, probably the most famous of all the Kiwi representation.
And Anna Paviover as well.
Anna Paviover, yep.
One of Richter's alumni.
There's a nice little bit of defensive work there to knock McChicken out to the outside line, but she's quick to get on track and get about it, but out front.
Vicky's just bucks her off the track there.
Princess Leia again getting through, picking up Lee Jammer, Richter City.
They are fighting hard in these last few moments. Yeah. Slayer's through.
And Slayer gets through, picks up a Grand Slam 5-point haul for Richter City.
Richter holding it right until the very end.
Well, you've got to fight for your right to party, huh?
And just busting through that wall there.
And another 5-point Grand Slam haul for Princess Leia and Richter City.
Nice work there.
Unfortunately for Bickies, it's a multiplayer block, so she's going to sit for 30 seconds. Nice little fight back there by Richter City. It's an unofficial score though, ladies and gentlemen, so we...
That is it.
Just waiting for the refs and scorekeepers to...
That was a very well matched game.
So there you have it, ladies and gentlemen. Get on the sidelines and give a high five to the girls as they skate around. And the final score, Richter City on 186 and Dunedin on 222.